All right, another Celtics game in the books, another home game, and another loss for the C's as they now are still defeated at home. Cannot get a home win on the books through 5 games. They lost this one to the Wizards, 116 to 107, in what was pretty much a close game the whole way. Neither team really at any point in time pulled away. It looked like the Celtics were going to make a fourth quarter comeback, but fell short in a game that the Celtics just looked very inconsistent in. Inconsistent effort on defense, inconsistent effort on offense, inconsistent shooting. That would be my key word of the game. If we're going to start doing that, maybe I should look to get that as a sponsored segment, a keyword of the game. But nothing really was horrible for the Celtics tonight because they did some good, but nothing was really that good for the Celtics tonight because they did some things that were pretty bad. And you don't have to look any further than the shooting of your two stars, Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. Both really struggled from the floor tonight, and Marcus Smart as well, who continues to struggle from the floor. And your offense just you didn't have the consistent shooting, and you had quarters where you just fell flat on defense, specifically the second quarter, giving up 38 points to the Wizards. Just not nearly a good enough effort against a team that's not really a high powered offensive team. You got dominated in the paint. You weren't able to protect the rim very well. The rebounding differential in this one was stark again. Plus 10 for the Wizards, 47 to 37. Turnover battle, 15 for the Wizards, 13 for the Celtics. So you actually won that one. But again, inconsistency. You didn't play well consistently enough. The times that you played well, you weren't able to make big enough runs to dent into, again, not very big Wizards leads, but enough where they were able to protect it enough to win the game. So let's go into the starting lineup and the box score tonight, and then I'll explain why I think this is sort of a sign of things to come, unfortunately. So Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Rob Williams, Marcus Smart, Jalen Brown are your starters tonight. That seems to be Coach Udoka's preferred starting lineup. I liked it better the other night when Schroeder was in the starting lineup. Al Horford was obviously out for rest, but I do kind of like Al Horford coming off the bench personally. Or Horford could stay in the starting lineup and then Smart can go to the bench. But I like Schroeder with the starters. Just one man's opinion. So Tatum, Horford, Williams, Smart, Brown, again, were the starters tonight. Tatum, 36 minutes, 9 of 22 from the floor. Putrid, 1 of 8 from three, 4 of 8 from the free throw line, which is very unlike him, just 50% from the free throw line. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, no steals, no blocks, 2 turnovers, and 23 points for Tatum, -8 on the night. Not a good night for Tatum. I know the 23 points looks decent, but don't let that fool you. It was a very inefficient 23. Again, that 1 of 8 from the 3-point line stands out, and 4 of 8 from the free throw line really stood out. He was frustrated with the officials who were not good in this game. Certainly, I think to the Wizards' advantage, but still, the Wizards aren't a particularly good opponent. You had them at home, and had you played better, the officials wouldn't have been a factor in this game. So the officials not good at all. They blew some calls late, but the Celtics, that's not enough of an excuse to give the Celtics a pass for this loss. Al Horford was very good tonight in his 26 minutes in his return to action. 7 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, and 16 points for Big Al. Rob Williams had 30 minutes for himself, 6 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 4 blocks for the Time Lord, and 13 points. Marcus Smart, not a good shooting night, and not really a good night at all for Marcus. 36 minutes, 1 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 7 points for Marcus. He was actually the only starter who was a plus in terms of plus minus category. That shows you what a kind of fallacy that is looking game by game. He had not a good night and he was plus while the rest of the guys were minus. And Jalen Brown, your final starter, 37 minutes, which was a team high for Jalen. 5 of 16 from the floor, 1 of 4 from three, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, an assist, and 13 points for Jalen. Not nearly enough points out of with the guy who's supposed to be your second option on offense, and certainly shown he's capable of it. But tough to win when Brown and Tatum shoot like that, and then you add Marcus Smart's poor shooting night, and Brown only has 13 and Tatum 23 is not. We expect a little bit more out of him, so it sort of makes sense. If you go to the bench, best guy off the bench tonight, clearly Dennis Schroeder. 34 minutes for Schroeder, 6 of 15 from the floor, 4 of 6 from three as he continues to shoot the three ball pretty well, shockingly, at least to start the year. 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 22 points, 6 assists, 2 steals. Really good game from Schroeder off the bench. Grant Williams, solid off the bench tonight. 16 minutes, 0 of 2 from the floor, 1 from 3. Did hit all 6 of his free throws. Surprised to see him get to the free throw line that much, but that's certainly a good thing. And 6 points, again, all coming out the free throw line. Other guys who played minutes tonight, Jabari Parker looked pretty good in limited action. 9 minutes, 7 points. Didn't put up any other statistic other than a steal. Hit all of his shots, 3 of 3, including 1 of 3 from 3. Maybe would like to see him a little bit more in this game because he was one of the rare guys shooting the ball efficiently. But I think a solid performance from Parker and Jason Richardson, who again keep doing that. Jesus Christ, Josh Richardson. I swear I'm gonna fuck it up every single game. Josh Richardson, 15 minutes, did not look good at all. Didn't even attempt a shot in 15 minutes. Had a rebound, an assist, and a steal. And then the Celtics again fall to the Wizards, 107-116. Here's why I think that you're going to see a lot of this happen. The Celtics are a mediocre team. And the Wizards, another mediocre team. Those teams will usually play each other about even. That's what happened tonight, and the Wizards happen to get the best of the Celtics. When they play again in a couple days, the Celtics might get the better of them, and on it would go to the end of time because they're about the same level of mediocre teams. I know that sucks to say as a Celtics fan. That hurts me to say it, but that's just a fact. I mean, you'd think a team with Tatum and Brown versus a team with Beal and Dinwiddie, or Beal and Harrell, whoever you want to look at as their second best player, the Celtics should be in their favor. But the Celtics just, they don't play with a lot of consistency. Again, I know my keyword tonight was inconsistent, but game to game, it's inconsistent. Their shooting is wildly consistent. Their defensive effort, their rotations, part of that's Udoka still figuring it out. I think I give them about a 2-month leash to figure out the rotations. I think that's reasonable. Let's say, 20, 20-ish games, between 20 and 30 games, I think is reasonable to get him to figure out the rotations. But they certainly haven't figured it out yet, and I don't think the players have well-defined roles. Tatum has had a frustrating start to the season because some games he looks like he could be, an MVP candidate. In other games, he looks like he still hasn't figured out the league at all, and gets frustrated and yells at the refs and plays with frustration instead of trying to help the team and plays too much hero ball. So still a lot of things for the Celtics to figure out. But unfortunately, I think the early returns are we're looking at about another 500 team, maybe slightly better. I mean, that wouldn't shock me, but I'm talking like 2-3 games better than 500. So it's just, what can you expect? One night they have a nice win against the Hornets. The next night they have a frustrating loss against the Wizards. This is how the season's going to go. I don't expect them to go on any sort of 8, 9, 10 game win streak at any point this season. I think it's going to be a lot of win, win, loss, loss, win, loss, that sort of thing. I think they're part of also the problem is when you realize you're a middle of the pack team, you're not really competing for a championship and you're competing to sort of get into that either some of the like last 3 or so spots in the East or in the playoff race. It's hard to get excited about playing basketball. And I think, in a long season that takes its toll and there's an attrition factor there. And that's why I feel like at some point this year, the Celtics need to try to make a trade to bring in somebody that will bring excitement to the team and make the team feel like they're being supported and shoot some life into them. Because I almost feel like there's a hangover from how miserable last year was. And I know there's a lot of new pieces and there's a new coach, and Danny Ainge is gone, but it still feels like that same sort of thing is going on with them. And I think that to sort of exercise those demons, you need a new player with cachet, either to take a leadership role in the locker room or that will really help out on the court and give a shot of life to this franchise and to the players and to the fans. Because I think until that happens, it's just going to be a lot more of the same, which is inconsistency and 500 basketball. So, that's my takeaway from this game is frustrating to lose at home to a team that you would think you should be better than, but really you're basically the same as. So Celtics again lose this one tonight. Final score 116 to 107. And they play they're not done with the Wizards as they take them on. Their next game is against the Wizards. This time, though, it will be in Washington. That is going to be on, let's see, today is the 27th. Then next game is on the 30th. What day of the week is that? Today is a Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's a weird, rare Saturday Celtics game. So I will be here for that, making sure you're all covered and up to date with everything going on with the Celtics this year, right after every game, live instant reaction. Thanks everybody watching now. Leonard, I see you. They are a frustrating team to watch. I appreciate that. It's a fact. That's true. And I appreciate everybody who watch after the fact too. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to you later. See you, everybody.